In a West full of loud gunfighters, wild drunks, and men who bragged louder than their pistols, one legend stood apart. John Horton Slaughter, better known as Texas John. He didn't shout. He didn't show off. He didn't posture. Slaughter simply did, and usually with a gun in his hand, a cigar in his teeth, and a look that told you your next breath depended on his mood. Picture the Arizona frontier in the 1880s, a land of dust, cattle, and outlaws who believed the law stopped at the horizon. Then picture a short, wiry man with a long mustache and cold steel eyes riding into town. No dramatic entrance. No fanfare. Just purpose. That was John Slaughter. A Civil War veteran, Texas Ranger, cattleman, gambler, and one of the most fearless sheriffs the West ever produced. When he became sheriff of Cochise County, criminals didn't just avoid Tombstone. They avoided the whole territory. Studio microphone Slaughter style. Quiet, deadly, uncompromising. Slaughter wasn't the type to give long speeches. In fact, his most famous line was, "I'll need your name for the coroner." He meant it. When he went after an outlaw, he didn't send deputies, and he didn't wait for backup. He rode out alone, and the outlaw usually ended up with a tag on his toe. Cowboys respected him. Rustlers feared him. And outlaws? They whispered his name like a curse. Slaughter didn't threaten people. He just told them what was going to happen. Studio microphone The Mexico Pursuit. Slaughter at his most fearless. One of his most legendary chases began when a gang fled across the border, believing they were safe. Most sheriffs stopped at Mexico. John Slaughter didn't. He crossed the border without hesitation, tracked them through hostile territory, and rode straight into their camp at dawn. He didn't sneak. He didn't hide. He walked right up to the fire, guns out, and said, "Boys, I'm here for you." By noon, he was riding home with every outlaw tied to his saddle horn. Studio microphone A rancher with nerves of iron. When he wasn't enforcing the law, Slaughter was building one of the most successful ranching empires in Arizona, the San Bernardino Ranch. But trouble followed him even there. Bandits tried to steal his cattle. Gunmen tried to kill him. And native raiding parties tested his defenses. Slaughter faced them all with the same unshakable calm. More than once, attackers were found lying in the desert, their horses gone, their weapons empty, their plans ruined by a man who refused to be intimidated. John Slaughter wasn't a loud legend. He didn't carve his name into the West with theatrics or tall tales. He shaped it quietly, with grit, courage, and a willingness to do the job no one else dared to try. He once said, "I never killed a man who didn't need killing." And history respectfully agrees. He was the West at its most dangerous, and at its most honorable. A one-man justice system. A fearless protector. And perhaps the most underrated lawman in American frontier history.